Hello there, welcome to my February energy report. I'm Karen from karenantara.org, and I've called this one "The Tide Has Turned and the Change is Coming Fast," because that's literally at the point where we find ourselves now. And many of us have been holding our breath, waiting for this for a really, really long time. And whilst we can think that we know what's coming and what it's going to look like, maybe based on our research or what we've been listening to. But the point is, we don't really know what's coming and what it's going to look like because it hasn't actually been created yet. Sure, it exists as an infinite potential, but it hasn't solidified, certainly not into this physical level just yet. Now, we are the ones that are creating it now with every thought, every belief, every action, and actually every inaction, because the inaction counts too. Everything we do has a frequency, and that frequency aligns us to one of those potential outcomes. Now, recently, I'm sure you've noticed, the energy on the planet has really been ramped up, and I'd like to say that we are at warp speed now, but I know that recently that term warp speed has been used, and people see that as a very, very negative statement to make. So I'm a little bit reluctant to say it, but it's also kind of true because we are at warp speed now. Whatever it is that we do now is really, really speeding up and amplified. So we have to really, really pay attention to that because it's all to do with collapsing timelines and creating new timelines as well. It's actually all to do with our frequency and our consciousness. And the outcome of those thoughts and beliefs and choices align us very rapidly now onto the appropriate timeline that matches the frequency of that thought, belief, or action. It's cause and effect, and it's happening at great speed now. So what has been done before, what has been put into place before, if it's not of pure intention, it's kind of ricocheting back at you now. It's kind of like speedy karma or something. It's really compelling us to tie up loose ends and sort out any mess that we've made. It's about bringing truth where there was dishonesty. It's about exposing the fake and revealing lies so that everything can be cleaned up and realigned to its highest timeline, because as I say, the tide has turned now and we are at that point in time where things move again. It's been very stagnant for a long, long time. I think you'll agree. But we've gone as far into the darkness as humanity can tolerate now, I think. And if it keeps on going in that direction any longer, we will implode because the contraction is so great. And in actual fact, there still is a timeline where I believe it will implode. I've spoken about this before when I've spoken about 3 timelines that I see. One of them I do believe implodes because it's got no life force energy left in it, like literally everything's been sucked out. And there will be nobody left there, no human left there to parasitize the energy from or to feed from. Maybe that's a discussion for another day. Anyway, we've been holding our breath for this moment, for eons of time. This moment when things start to turn around and things start to come back into the direction of light again. Now, to go into the darkness and to fully see what is there requires an awful lot of light and a very, very strong spiritual backbone. What we will see being revealed now has been there for a very long time. And sure, it's been hidden from view, mostly. But many of us have also seen it as well and have talked about it for a very long time. So depending how awake you are, how interested you are in that subject as well, and how much a light you are holding will have dictated how much you can see into the darkness. It makes sense. You know, if the battery in your torch is dim, you can't see as much as well it's on full beam, you know. So this is why some of us have been able to look into the darkness and see what's there. So this is not new, what's going to be revealed. But there is a lot of very dark and debauched behaviours that have been going on for a really long time. It's been hidden from view. And so vast is that underground network that those of us trying to bring awareness to that, trying to bring light into that, have been severely thwarted in our previous attempts to expose it and bring it up to be seen. But not this time. Now our time has come, and there are many, many people that are stepping up and saying, okay, well, this is my part of this. Somebody else will say, okay, and my part of this is to do this over here, because we each have a very important role to play, a very important part to play in creating the new Earth. And it's up to each of us individually to find out exactly what our part is, right? So, as I say, our time has come, but we must hold strong with this, because the evil that will be brought up into the light will require a very strong spiritual backbone to witness it safely. It's possible to witness such darkness that you go into trauma yourself, and we don't want that to occur. I've actually experienced that myself, and takes a while, takes a lot actually to heal from that, so that you can be kind of neutral again when you witness it. So we mustn't let ourselves lower our frequency or go into fear and despair by what we see. I know that you're interested to see what's going to be exposed. My advice would be to dip in and out real quick. Unless it's your particular role to really go into the depths of it and explore it, well then go ahead. But that's not the role of everybody. And we can really, it's literally like watching a horror movie that you are petrified of, and making yourself stay there till you're traumatized. Like, what is the point? Unless you absolutely have to be in the depths of it to that degree. But otherwise, move away, turn your eyes away, because we don't want you to be going into fear and despair, lowering your frequency, going into trauma, then having to live in fight and flight or freeze. If that's not your part of the piece, then don't do that to yourself, please. So, be careful where you place your attention and your focus, because everything that we look at, read, hear about has an effect upon us. So we really need to hold ourselves strong now and focused on the outcome that we want to experience, which is the new Earth, its freedom, its sovereignty, and it's for all of those who are in alignment with the law of one and unity consciousness. And this is not going to be an easy ride, though, is it? Because there is still darkness here on this planet, certain people who are hell-bent on controlling us and continuing their reign of darkness here. And all of that needs to be dismantled before we can fully say that we are in the new Earth, of course. And they're not going to give up without a fight, are they? Their mechanism of control has been woven through every system of our culture, the government, the education systems, the banking, the healthcare. It's in everything, to the point of gaslighting and brainwashing generation after generation after generation of people in this world. And what we're doing now is stripping all of that back so that it can be washed away in this tide. I'm sure you can appreciate this is a massive job, and all of that work releases energy into the collective consciousness, and you are affected by that. So it's very, very important to find a way to find peace within yourself. I like to use essential oils when I feel a little bit anxious or a little bit more agitated than I would like. I use essential oils to move my frequency in many, many different ways. Now, watch the water is a phrase that you will hear a lot if you haven't already. Now, I honestly can't say exactly what that means, what they are making it mean, because, they have control. They have made up this expression, right? So they have their own agenda attached to that. Could be good, could be bad, not really sure. But because I don't know the context that they're using it in, but I know that the element of water is connected to our emotions. And I know that many people are feeling very overwhelmed and emotional lately because of the current events that are playing out. No matter which side you're on, and the collective consciousness, all of that has an impact upon us, and we need to be aware of that. So many people have fear and frustration coming up. And we really must try to shift those frequencies, those feelings if we can, into a higher vibrational state. Because what we align to, what we focus upon, is very, very important. And we don't want people going down into fear spirals if we can help it. Again, as I say, I use emotional essential oils to help my emotional states and my frequency. So if you want to hear more about that, just let me know and I'll talk about it at some point. Now, on the 6th of February, I'm teaching a class that is all about creating the new Earth and your role in it, your particular part in it, and how you can help. If you would like to sign up and join that class, I'll put the link below. If you happen to be listening to this video after that date, the replay is available inside my membership, which is called the Ascension Temple, New Earth Ascension Temple. I'll also put a link in there for that as well. In fact, all of my classes and meditations are available as replays inside the Ascension Temple, so you can access everything there. And I created that community because I know how important it will be to have a place to return to when things get a little bit crazy out there in the world, and I do believe that they will through this change and transition. So much untruth will be revealed that it might leave you in shock. And my community in the Ascension Temple has been set up specifically as a place where you can come and discuss what's going on in the world, what's changing in the world, in a very grounded and supported community. As part of the upcoming disclosures, we will also see the dismantling of some of the big spiritual influences and their modalities and their products and their devices that they've created. If they are not clear and aligned, if what they've built and created has not been built upon truth and integrity, then all of that will begin to fall, as will those who are pushing an extraterrestrial ET agenda that is not about sovereignty and unity, because there still are many ET agendas that are about control. And we have to be aware of that, because those ET agendas are literally just rife all over social media at the moment. So I do urge you to be cautious about that kind of thing and what you listen to and follow. So let me be clear here. You'll still be able to follow these spiritual influencers or ET channels if you want to. They're not just going to be magically removed so that you're safe from them. No, this is about choice, always about choice. So you will have to choose what is real and what is false. That choice dictates the timeline that you move forwards upon. Nobody's coming to tell you what you should and shouldn't believe or follow. Nobody's coming to save you, basically. It's up to you now to find out your truth and to become sovereign. And again, that's the value of having a community like my New Earth Ascension Temple to discuss these kind of things with, because it can take a lot to decondition and deprogram your mind from some of the beliefs that have held you locked in some ways, particularly if you've been in that belief system for many, many years. I have had a lot of experience of helping people to get out of spiritual cults. I understand how that programming works, and this is what we're going to be seeing start to dismantle over the coming time. So you will, or you can expect to see many things being exposed. We will see false agendas being pushed again to see if they can gain traction this time around again. We will see many snake oil salesmen, and we will see many truth speakers. It's up to us to work out for ourselves, and in this age of fake news, misinformation, disinformation, controlled opposition, and everything in between and beyond, it's going to be difficult to expect to work this out easily. And the only way I think we can really do that is to learn to go within and find out our own truth. That can be a little bit challenging as well, because when you first start that process of trying to listen to yourself, believe yourself, follow your own inner guidance, sometimes you actually don't know what's truth and what's not, even if you're inside, because you haven't kind of exercised that muscle. But the more that we align to and demand truth, actually, but the more that we live in truth in our day-to-day lives, the easier it is to feel what is truth and what is not, because there is a particular vibration to truth. There is a frequency to integrity, and the highest vibration is authenticity. So those three key words, truth, integrity, authenticity, hold you to a very high frequency. And if you demand that in your day-to-day life, if you remove anything that is not of truth, then you will be able to feel in an instant what is truth and what is not. So it makes it a lot easier to discern what's coming at you from the external world when you live that way on the inside. So I think that that's probably it from me for today. My encouragement is to buckle up, because things are going to change very fast. As I say, the tide is turning. Align to truth in every moment. Reach out if you need a community or support. If you just want to come in and say, look, I've been following this and something doesn't feel right for me, can we discuss this? This is all available. I do conscious conversations every second Monday within that group, and we can just have a chat about any of this. No judgment. I'm not trying to persuade you one way or the other. My job here is solely to help you to align to your own truth and to find what's right for you. So I'll put the link below for that. I hope you can join me in my class, Creating a New Earth, and your part in it, because I will be going into very much more detail of some of the things that I've just touched on in this video today. The link is below, and of course, if you if you want any further information, just DM me and let's talk. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.